Hello, everybody. My name is Laure Ducommun. I'm working in the French Ministry of the Environment at the regional scale at the Normandie region. It's the second time I come here. I'm very pleased to be here, and so thank you again for the invitation. So today I'm going to present you our marine protected areas network. How do they work? How do we manage them? And what are the challenges we're facing? Because maybe they are similar to yours. So a little table of contents before. Just as I said, I'm going to first present you the MPAs network. Just to say that my mission in the Normandie region of section of the French Ministry of the Environment is only to follow the marine protected areas in the Normano-Breton Gulf. So here today, I'm only going to present the marine protected areas in the red sector, because otherwise you could see that in the Normandy region, we do have lots of marine protected areas. They often have the same status, which are the Natura 2000 sites. We have, to mention, we have one RAMSAR site, which is La Baie du Mont-Saint-Michel, which is also Natura 2000 site. So we kind of combine these two status together. And offshore, at the end of the map, you can see that we have a large MPA offshore, and this is the new North Brittany Marine Protected Area, and for which we hope to collaborate with the Alderney Wildlife Trust and the Guernsey government. So the same content, different map. It's just a bit more zoomed in. So now I'm going to detail the MPA in order from north to south really quickly, trying not to be boring, sorry. First of all, yesterday when we did the work session about how to get out of our bubble, was the question, why do we do what we do? And for us, it's about implementing European directives. We have two. We have the Habitat and Species Directive, and we have the Birds Directive, from which we aim to achieve or maintain a good conservation status. That is to say, quite the same objective you all pursue as well. And for that, for the Habitat Directive, we speak about special areas of conservation. And for Birds Directive, we speak about special protected area. So now be careful of the color I've chosen, because now I'm going to speak with the acronyms, but I'm going to recall you Birds or Habitat Directive. So now from north to south, we have La Hague, which are two Natura 2000 sites. The one that was designated for its habitats is much more offshore. It's the Plain Square, and the other site is near the shore, and it was designated for the Birds Directive. It's a large superficie, and it's mainly marine superficie, but we also have coastal superficie within these MPAs. The species here are the one for which we designated these sites. So it's a little bit of French exercise for you today. I didn't have the courage to translate everything, but you'll see in the presentation later, I did the effort for you. So these are the main species these sites were designated for. Then we have two marine protected areas, which are 100% offshore. This is Vauville and Surtainville. They were designated in 2014 only for its habitats and marine mammal species. There were no birds species, especially for which we could designate the sites. So these are the 4 marine mammal species, and translated in English for you. And these are the habitats. So it's mainly sand dunes and reefs habitats. Then we have really particular sites because it's more of an estuary rather than a marine protected area. We call it Les Havres because it's a really typical and unique kind of estuary. It has the form of it's recognizable with its sandpits. You can see, I'm not sure you can see like the really pink spits, and it's a sand spit that forms the estuary. It's really recognizable on our shores, and so it was designated as a marine protected area, both for its marine habitats, coastal and unique land-based habitats, but also for species. So here are the havres. You could illustration is better than any word. And for the marines, we have marine mammal species, and it's a really good spot for seals to rest. So it's a really important site in Normandy for harbor seal population. And we also have, it's a really important site, and it's the most important site, resting site for the light-bellied brent goose in France. And we also have a bat species as well. Then the Chaussée Island, the one island we have in the Normandy coast. So it was both designated as Natura 2000 sites for the Birds Directive and the Habitat Directive. It's a huge site, and it's mainly marine superficie. You could see like it's really, it's the superficie of its site, it's really close to the superficie of the other site I just presented before. It was designated both for birds and marine mammal species. Again, we could see like it's always the same marine mammal species we encounter in the Normandy region. And again, we find the light-bellied brent goose. We also have the Balearic shearwater, as my colleague Adrien spoke about it yesterday. And for marine habitats, we do have a lot. So it's just to sum up here. It's the main site, it's the main site for our seagrass meadows as well. And there is also important reef habitats, dry heath, and marl bed habitats. Then we have the most famous one, I believe, the Mont Saint-Michel Bay. So it was designated for Habitat Directive, Birds Directive, and it is also our RAMSAR site. It's huge, and it's mainly marine superficie. Here is only a few examples of all the species we have to protect within these marine protected areas. Again, you can see that there are some species that we have seen before. And for, I forgot the habitats, but it's kind of salted marshes and estuaries and sandbanks, as we've seen before. The last one, the newest one, is the North Brittany. It was designated in 2018. It's 100% of marine superficie, and it's the one we were there last year to hope for collaboration, which was successful with the Ardennais Wildlife Trust and the Guernsey government. So it is really big. You can see before, it is really big. Why? Because the species that motivated its designation are mainly mobile species, so marine mammals and northern garnet, northern fulmar, and black-legged kittiwake. And now for its management and governance, it's the same for all the sites. It's about having a management plan, basic step, you would say. So it's an official document. We have a steering committee that validates the document, and then it is officially approved and enforced by a prefectural decree. What is in this document? We have a state of play of all the natural resources. We have a state of play of all the socio-economic activities. Some spoke about the different status of marine protected areas. Natura 2000 sites, they do not prohibit any activity. We try to work with a socio-economic representative to achieve sustainable conservation status, but we try not to prohibit every activity, so we have to work with them. Then we identify the key challenges by mapping the activities and the natural resources location. we prioritize environmental goals. Someone yesterday presented criteria to assess sustainability, sensibility, vulnerability. We do the same. And then we have our action plan, which is composed of various measures. The thing is not to be too mandatory and too stern. So we try to have, we of course have regulatory measures, but we also try to have incitative measures, contractual measures, and technical measures, which can include like scientific knowledge, collaboration with NGOs, etc., etc. And for the governments, we have, it's about implementing public policies. So of course, we have the competent authorities. For us, it's the French Maritime Authority for the North Sea Channel, which is represented here by Nicolas today. We have the departmental prefect if it's a coastal marine protected area as well. Then we have the state representatives. Our role is to do the bridge between the competent authorities and the different stakeholders. And then we have fabulous operators that help us to draft the management plan, do the local consultation. So we have land-based ecosystem operator, we have marine ecosystem operator. For Normandie, Karine is one of them. For the French Biodiversity Agency. And we spoke about it yesterday. How do we engage people? Where our solution was to engage fisheries representatives within the process and within the drafting process of our management plan. It is a solution to give them responsibility to involve their fishermen into the MPA process. And then we have the steering committee, which is composed of a wide range of people, local authorities, public institutions, NGOs, and so on. For the state of play, actually, the map I just showed you earlier was giving some clues, because in green, it's everything where it's every MPA where the management plan have been approved. In orange, it's in process, and in pink is to be started. So we can see that the newest MPA we created still need to be to install its steering committee, the North Brittany one. But we are not trying to fulfill the 30 by 30. We are trying to fulfill the 2026 deadline, because we have a more urgent deadline due to some European obligation. So it's the first challenge for us. We have to do earlier. We also are facing different challenges, because we have a special process for the regulation of fisheries within MPA, because we have to conduct a risk analysis for each fisheries. So it's a huge scientific and consultation process. It has also to be conducted for every MPA by 2026. We also have, I'm going to say the B word, but we also have a Brexit context. It may seem long ago, but for our fisheries representative, it's still a very sensible word, and we can see it every day in meetings. And on top of that, we have national coastal restriction for bottom trawled years. So it had a lot of tension and conflict, so we had to deal with that within the goal of trying to reach the 2026 deadline and getting each marine protected area an effective management plan. We also have a lack of acceptability of what is an MPA, what's its role from the different stakeholders, because we have a wide range of people included. And also, as a result, we also have different levels of biology and ecology knowledge. Some of the people we are talking to don't know what is a habitat. Like, they don't know. For them, protecting rocks and sand, like it's not a goal. So we have to do some pedagogy and education. So it takes time. But for instance, for Chaussee Island, it's still on green. It's been 4 years, and we hope to approve the management plan next year. What can we do to address these challenges? And this is my last slide. As I said, we tried to engage more with the fisheries representatives because they were the one stakeholder with which we had the more conflict. We nearly stopped all the consultation during the years. For instance, for Chaussee Island, it's on again since 2021. We tried to do more working group session rather than formal meeting, so that we include more people and we engage more with people and locals to explain them what can they win also with the MPA near their home. We try to also involve local authorities, and we collaborate with various NGOs, public institutions that provide scientific education and support. For instance, Avril Association is a really helpful tool to do education to the environment. And we also try to continue, on top of that, scientific cooperation and international cooperation. Merci beaucoup.